All right, final 49ers update of the week here from the facility. The injury report is out, and it looks like the 49ers have some stuff trending in the right direction. However, they're going to be at least a little bit shorthanded against the Cardinals because Eric Armstead and Javon Hargrave, both of this team's starting defensive tackles, are officially listed as out of this football game. So 49ers hope to get both of those guys back against the Baltimore Ravens for the showdown the following week. But against the Cardinals here with big James Conner, a bruising running back who's going to try to run up the middle, the 49ers are going to have to turn to some of their reserves. And Javon Kinlaw's been playing really, really well. He's been playing up to that draft status now that he's been healthy. So Kinlaw's going to have a big load on his shoulders. Kevin Givens, who's played a lot for the 49ers this year, is going to have to step up a spot in the rotation. Kalia Davis, the second-year player who's made a nice debut for the 49ers, probably going to be a big part of this rotation. And then maybe the veteran T.Y. McGill will be called up from the practice squad to help fill in on the inside. Other 49ers players who are officially out of this game, Elijah Mitchell, the running back. So that means that you're going to see Jordan Mason as running back number 2 again for the 49ers this week. We expect that Ross Dwelly with the high ankle sprain to not play this week. He is officially listed as out. And Oren Burks, the linebacker, knee tendonitis, expected out for a couple weeks. Well, this is the first of the couple weeks. Burks is the 49ers' third linebacker. The good news for them is that it looks like they'll probably have their second linebacker in Dre Greenlaw. Dre hadn't practiced on Wednesday and Thursday, but he was back out on the practice field today, and he's officially listed as questionable with the hip issue. But again, we've seen this before from Dre Greenlaw. I didn't think that he was ever trending toward not playing this week, despite the fact that he didn't practice on Wednesday and Thursday, and I think that it is indeed headed in that direction. So if the 49ers have Greenlaw, then the big question is Charvarius Ward, who was working off on the side today, again for the 49ers, worked off on the side all 3 days at practice. John Lynch said that Charvarius Ward is very much in play to be in this game against the Cardinals, and he even added that Charvarius Ward was okay with coming back into the game last week after he hurt his groin on the first drive against the Seahawks. But the 49ers decided to play it cautious with Ward. Now the question is, do they play it cautious with Ward again, or do they feel that, hey, this is a fresh Arizona team coming off of a bye week, playing with some confidence, right? They're 2-2 after starting the season 1-8. The 49ers feel that Ward is a necessary piece of the puzzle to have out there to secure a win. We'll see what that risk-reward balance in the 49ers' head, that cost-benefit analysis looks like. But Charvarius Ward, with the groin injury, would have been able to return last week in an emergency, didn't. We will see if the 49ers decide to push him or if he decides to push himself to get on out there on Sunday. He's definitely trying. I saw him working hard with some of the agility stuff on the sideline, but this is probably something that we'll have to wait until Sunday. More good news for the 49ers is that Aaron Banks was back out at practice today. He missed Thursday's session with a hip issue. I think Banks is trending toward playing. He's officially listed as questionable. The 49ers in this game, I've talked about the defense going to be down at least both of its 2 starting defensive tackles. That means that the offense might have to pull a little bit of extra weight. And the offense, by and large, is healthy. Banks officially questionable, but it looks like the 49ers will indeed have him out there. Spencer Burford also listed as questionable. He's the other starting guard, although he was out there all week at practice. The first day, I think he might have worked on the side only, but with a helmet on, I think Burford is definitely trending in the right direction. And if you don't have him, but you do have Banks, obviously John Feliciano is around the same caliber of player that Spencer Burford is as a reserve up front. So this 49ers offense should be locked, loaded, and ready to go. So those are your questionables: Banks, Burford, Greenlaw, and Charvarius Ward out. Armstead, Hargrave, Mitchell, Elijah Mitchell, the running backs. It's going to be Jordan Mason in his place, Ross Dwelly, and Oren Burks. 49ers in a situation right now, I wrote in my preview that Brock Purdy dominated Arizona last time he was out there. Purdy has the highest deep pass completion percentage on record in NFL history entering this game. And Arizona, meanwhile, they have been the worst defense in terms of giving up deep ball completions this season. Purdy's completed 66% of his deep passes over 20 yards. Arizona, their defense has given up 55% completion rate on deep passes. So Brock Purdy back in his home state of Arizona. Looks like it's going to be a good chance for him to continue pouring on the passing statistics on his way to potentially the most valuable player, the MVP award here in the NFL. Purdy's going to have a lot of people in the stands. I think that he doesn't even have the exact count. He's given tickets to his family, and then a lot of other people from that Phoenix home area. They've decided that they're going to go out and support the hometown boy, Brock Purdy, in this football game. 49ers fly out tomorrow. I fly out here in a couple hours, so off to SFO right now. There's your 49ers update from the facility. Cardinals game coming up. 49ers still big favorites, but they're going to have to fight through a couple of these injuries.
Yeah, honestly, the best deep ball, more consistent deep ball throwers that I've been around are not the guys with the strongest arms. I mean, the strong arm is what allows you to throw it late if you can't read it in time. Yep. And the stronger your arm is, the worse you get at doing that, because you always sit there and you can wait. And you just wait till they get there because you have the arm to make it up, but that usually leads you to the wrong decision. Guys that kind of play within their timing, their own arm, leads them to the right decision. And that's what I think is great about Brock, that, he's not going to sit there and take 3 hitches and then throw a late 70 yards. That'd be hard for him to do. It'd be hard for a lot of quarterbacks in this league to do. But I also think that's what makes him really good at it. No one wants him to do that, unless we have a Hail Mary. In the Hail Marys, you do that. You buy as much time and just launch it. But it's what allows you to play with, to make the right decisions. And, some guys, when you can make the right decision in the time of the play, he has all the arm that you need, and he always has. And he did last year, and he had to come back from injury, but he's had throughout this year. And I think the more he gets, the more reps he gets in anything, which he is in our offense, he gets better at all of it, because he is a real quarterback. He does see it, and he has the ability to do the stuff.
So when it comes to the Warriors, we always talk about the gravity of Steph Curry, how he just kind of pulls everything towards him and makes the job easier for everybody else. I'm wondering about the gravity of Christian McCaffrey and how that manifests itself on the football field, because I got to imagine just having him out there. Like I've always said, Steph could not shoot the ball and he'll be an asset, because everyone still has to act like he's going to shoot the ball. And again, it makes everybody else's job easier. Even if McCaffrey doesn't touch the ball, he's out there, he's a threat, and people got to be aware of where he is and how he's lined up. How does his gravity kind of manifest itself on the field that makes, everyone else's job a little bit easier?
That's why I think Steph's such a good comparison, as much as you can, crossing over sports like that. But, first of all, not even talking Christian, like just when you have a threatening run game, just the run game does that to a defense. Mm-hmm. No matter what they want to do, no matter how good your quarterback or your receivers are, if you have a good running team and you're willing to run the ball, that's a problem for defenses. They have to honor that, which makes everything else better. And then you add in an elite running back like Christian with a good running team. So that's just twice as big of a problem as it could be just in a normal situation. And then on top of it, you go out to what Christian could do to all the guys who cover him, which are usually linebackers and safeties. If he wasn't such a threat in the run game and we didn't run it so much, then go ahead, put some corners in there to play linebacker and safety, because then they're in positions that they could have a better chance covering them. But you got to think, first of all, how to stop the run. So that kind of all ties together and stuff, and that's similar to how Debo is too. Because you got a guy who, if you're handing it off to him or throwing a screen out there to him, he does have a threat to go the distance. So you got to be very careful not to give him a lot of space, because if you give any of those guys space, they can make you pay. Just like if Steph Curry's sitting in the corner all day, you're not going to just give him 5 feet over there. You better have someone on him closed out, because he's going to hit that 3 every single time. And I feel like that balances out with these type of guys, and especially when you're running the ball. When you're runners, when you're a big-time receiver, it's a huge deal too, which I've had, having guys like Julio Jones and Andre Johnson, and, they're rarely alone. There's going to be a safety cheated to that side, because just one guy on them, there's a threat of a go-route at all times. So you got to cheat the defense a little bit, which makes you more susceptible in the run game, but it also helps out the receiver on the other side and makes reads a little bit easier for the quarterback. But when you can put that receiver in a running back position or the running back out to a receiver position, then it kind of just multiplies.